Jenn Sponer from Jamworks says that she loves being on podcasts. She goes on them all the time. She's from Jamworks. No, actually what she said was, I've never been on a podcast before. Here's your debut today.
Yeah, my first time on a podcast. There you go.
All right, so Jamworks is a note-taking environment for students. Is that correct?
That's right. We are a note-taking app. We've been around about 5 years. We were founded for the education space, which makes us very unique in this field. We were created for the disabled learner. We're based out of the UK. We are used by what's called DSA students in the UK. The government gives its disabled services, but they get a government fund to use us. We've now come into the U.S. We've been in the U.S. a couple years now, and this is our biggest market.
You sell to the universities?
Yeah, we sell to a couple hundred universities, everything from a community college all the way up to the Ivies, into mostly their disabled.
So you describe this as a note-taking app where it can take a video from a video class, and it can do a translation, make the transcript of it. And I asked you, well, how is that any different than in Apple Notes? I could do the same thing. And you had a good answer to that.
So what we do is we record off of the student's device. And what makes us different, because we are developed for the education space and we understand things like STEM, translate to languages, but more importantly, we then use AI to give the student a really detailed outline set of notes, divided into new topics. We also have technology that a lot of the schools use that just differentiate who the speaker is and will only allow the instructor if that's what the university wants or the student wants. So all the other stuff comes out and you have speaker one, and that's all that's coming into your notes.
Okay, that's interesting. Now we've got a screen here on a Mac showing the transcript, and you clicked a button here that changed it to being a font that's good for people with dyslexia, correct?
Yeah, so it's called focus reading. So it takes it from that's your normal, right? And then you go in and it bolds the first couple letters. And I find, slightly maybe undiagnosed dyslexia, that it really pops out. It allows you to skim.
I wonder whether we all could have a little bit of benefit, because I noticed that with some dyslexic fonts the other day. I was like, whoa, I can read that better too. So maybe we can all benefit from it, but even more so for people who have some issues there. So now you also looked at, show me the key points here.
Yeah, so this is as I said, just the transcription. Then you go over to key points, and it takes it from just block words to an outline,
Clicked
right?
a little too hard.
An outline. So now you've got an outline, and then you see all those STEM formulas transcribing perfectly into the right equation, as you pointed out.
Yeah, so we looked at the straight transcript, and it would say something like the letter X space prime, and this says X prime. Yes. It's actually a real equation. So that's part of being focused on the STEM education, that you're creating these formulas.
Yes, and the AI, all the AI strength behind it.
I have to ask you, how well do you check whether that actually works? Because getting a formula wrong is much worse than getting a typo in a word.
Well, I'm gonna ask Lewis, who's our expert on how do we know that our STEM is accurate.
We're phoning a friend here. We've got Lewis Maskell from Jamworks coming in. Yeah, so having a typo in a word is not a big deal, or getting a what is it, a phoneme? What is it? TOO versus TWO? That doesn't matter. You get a formula wrong, that matters a lot.
Yeah, sure. So it's 96% accurate, so that's the accuracy rate. And we also have transcription and key points editing, so you can basically change it if it was incorrect, but it's 96% accurate.
So overall, or with formulas, it's 96%?
So overall, so for both. So for the text and for the formulas.
So how do I know if you got the formula wrong if I'm a student?
How do you know if I got... Because it would be in the recording, in the video from the teacher.
Okay, so you still have to pay attention to the teacher. Darn it, that's the problem.
On the whole, it's pretty accurate. We've not had any students say anything.
We haven't actually had anyone come back, and we've been used by some pretty technical schools. I mean, this is
so no bridges fell down because somebody got the wrong
lecture, and there's a lot in there, and that all came out because that is checked, and that was 100% accurate.
Oh, great. So the other thing you said that you can do with this is have quizzes, right?
Yes. So you can go into your quiz function, which is, so over here on this side is your little bot. So you can ask it questions like, I don't know, give me a good engineering question to ask us about
I don't know what the lecture's about.
About special relativity?
Do you want to ask a question, Steve?
Is it possible to travel greater than the speed of light?
Yeah. All right, we're going to watch her type this in. This is going to take a second here. So she's typing in, is it possible to travel quicker than the speed of light into the AI here? And let's see what it has to say.
A little
this
Jam
is flying
Assistant.
without a net here. Jam Assistant says, it's given us a formula and everything here. Let's see.
Therefore, based on our current understanding of physics and the principles discussed in the lecture, faster than light travel is not possible.
But it actually, that's awesome. But it actually gave the Lorentz factor here and gave a bunch of information about what the lecture had just described. Good job on the questions, Steve.
Now, I also
Boy, that's impressive. That was a live demo gone well.
There's a quiz. So now the quiz is going to come off your key points, and then, right, what is the observed speed? And so it then quizzes, you can answer it, and then it's going to tell you the answer. And let's say, there's your answer. I don't know why I keep doing that. And if you said, I really don't understand that, well, here you go. You can go back and you can watch the highlight. Now, the reason we have the highlight on this is integrated with something, a learning management system, an LMS. And this is Panopto. So Stanford has allowed Panopto to record and visually record the lecture.
Let me describe what we just saw. So she was on a screen that had a quiz, and it had a question, and we could have tried to answer the question, but we said, no, just give me the answer. And then she clicked another button, and it has popped up a video showing the lecturer explaining that exact thing in the lecture.
And if, let's say, you're doing it as a student and you're only doing the audio, then it would just give you a link to that section in audio. So you could listen to the instructor say it again. In his own words.
That's or her own words, as it turns out.
Their own words.
Their own words. There we go. This is really cool. So if you're in a university and could be looking at ways to improve the educational experience for people with disabilities, people who just stink at taking their own notes, people who need help taking more quizzes for themselves, they would go to jamworks.com.
But the other thing is the traditional student market is really growing for us because, as you probably remember, you're busy writing notes down in class, and you feel like you miss the lecture because you're too busy writing.
I took really good notes and learned hardly anything. So
exactly, and then you just said, "What just happened?" And so this the thing you can do, which is really amazing in this, is you can take basic notes. You write a couple phrases down.
Cues to remember.
And then you hit a button called Enhanced Notes, and it comes in and it fills in all your notes around that, keeping what you wrote bolded so you remember, because I know writing something down sticks in your brain, right? So
right. But just a little bit. If you write too much down, nothing sticks in your brain.
And so I think that's a really good happy medium of keeping the student engaged so they're not looking out the window and knowing everything's done. But it's been great. We work with screen readers for the blind. We're really compatible.
Platform independent, Windows and Mac.
Windows and Mac.
And iPhone, Android.
iPhone, Android, Chrome, anything. We really work with Chromebook. Sorry.
Very good. Very good.
You're better than me on this. And then the last thing I wanted to show you was this is quite cool. If you were to go back and look at, let's go to key points, and you can go in and this is the accessibility. And you can pick all kinds of how do you want your profile to look. And the student can set that up if they want. Let
me read these. So she's got, you can turn on Seizure Safe profile, Vision Impaired profile, ADHD profile, cognitive, keyboard navigation, blind, all different profiles to see how you want to interact with the tool.
Exactly.
Very good. All right, this is jam-packed at jamworks.com.
Thank you for interviewing us.
You did great.